I'll just read Casey's words so they stand on their own. And Casey seems to be like a really nice guy, actually, very affable. I've met him in person. He's quite nice. So I don't think he intended this to be super critical, yet it was. And he said, the founder of a 7-year-old Gmail skin who took a year off of product development to start a venture fund has raised $75 million from the chain smokers to build an early version, in quotes, of an Outlook compatible service that will be available, and in quotes, next year. And so this is riddled with errors. And so, of course, that was quite embarrassing for a journalist to have this many errors in one tweet. It also is dunking. It's just straight up dunking. Very careful when you dunk, because if you're wrong and you get blocked or you hit the rim and you fall on your face, it's quite embarrassing. And that's what happened to Casey here. Again, I like Casey. I think he's, as far as journalists go, I would say very good. Obviously, he wouldn't get a Substack deal for hundreds of thousands of dollars. He probably was making 100, 150,000 working for Vox or Recode. And then he probably had his salary doubled or tripled by going to Substack. That is the case of the virtuoso elite journalists, the people who are the top 25 journalists in tech, are going to make 100 to 200,000. And if they went to Substack, they're going to double, which is quite ironic. We'll get into that in a minute. And then he followed it up with Superhuman is the most Juicero-like product to come out of this town since Juicero itself, which is super inaccurate and horrible. What Casey doesn't know, and I think this is a very important thing for founders to understand, is journalists have about 5% of the information. A great journalist like Casey or Kara Swisher, they might get 20% of the information of what's going on in a company. If you had 20% of the information about what was going on in a company or in a newsroom, would you have the clear picture of what was going on? Probably not. And so this shows how ill-informed journalists can be at their worst. Now, sometimes they get the whole story, they nail it, and they get a Pulitzer. That's certainly not this. And that would be the case with John Carreyrou, right? Who did the incredible Theranos story. So let's pause for a second there and realize journalists are at an information disadvantage. And in today's day and age, they want to dunk. Why do they want to dunk? Casey wants to dunk on Twitter because he needs paid subscribers now. He is, in fact, an entrepreneur. And the more he dunks and the more salacious the take, or the more hot the take, the more he will be rewarded with paid subscribers. So the idea that journalists are suffering with $50,000 salaries and doing it because they want to, be advocates for the truth, that is not this. Just be clear about that. If you're talking about a company like Vice or Vox or Substack authors, they are venture-backed businesses or they are entrepreneurial journalists. They will only make money if they get subscribers. And so link baiting headlines at Vox or BuzzFeed generate the traffic they get, which turns into page views at its worst. You get things like Gawker's worst moments. And in terms of getting paid subscribers, you might have something like Stratechery, where that journalist, or really an analyst, Ben Thompson is like a different beast. He is 10 times more knowledgeable than a Casey Newton, who is 10 times more knowledgeable than a BuzzFeed rank and file entry-level reporter. And that's because of networks, raw intelligence, business experience, any number of factors, or even the approach. So Ben Thompson's approach is, listen, I want to impress the hell out of Bill Gurley or Bill Simmons or Kara Swisher or some other business leader. Really, the business leaders is who he's writing to. Here, Casey Newton is really angling for like the woke mob and maybe dunking on people. It's a different thing. Before we get into the ad, let me just tell you straight up, your first job posting free. I'm not kidding. LinkedIn.com/twist, your first job listing free. Nothing to lose. Okay, now on to the ad. Too many small business owners are busier than ever. They spend time searching for and interviewing the wrong candidates for a job opening, and it would be much better for them to spend their time growing their business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has made it easier to get the candidates worth interviewing faster, and that's why they're giving you the first job listing for free at linkedin.com/twist. They know it's going to work. Here's how it works. You create a free post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs, and you reach the world's largest professional network with over 750 million people. I remember reading this ad when it was like 150 million. My God, they're growing. It's like one of the biggest growth stories inside of Microsoft, in fact. So they focus on candidates with the skills and experience that you need, and you can use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. We love LinkedIn Jobs at launch. And in 2021, we've hired a third producer, a curriculum designer for Foundry University, and 2 more researchers. And we're still hiring for 3 more positions using You guessed it, LinkedIn Jobs. So LinkedIn Jobs will help you find the candidates that are worth interviewing faster. Every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/twist. Terms and conditions apply because they're giving you something for free.